Welcome back to KP's Kingdom, cooking with KP. Today I'm going to show you how I make my Tonkatsu pork. Yes, this awesome little Japanese dish. Alright, let's get on with it. First thing we're going to do is make our sauce. And I'm going to add around about 1/3 of a cup of tomato sauce. Just the stuff you buy from the supermarket. Don't have to make your own. And we're going to add into that about a good teaspoon of either Japanese mustard, or you could use hot English mustard. We're also going to add in 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, just like that. Right, and we're also going to add in about 2 tablespoons of cooking sake. Very simple. And the last thing we want is about a teaspoon, maybe 2 teaspoons of good quality soy sauce. Give that a quick mix. We'll set that aside, and we'll finish that off in the microwave just before we're ready to serve. It'll only take another 30 seconds or so. Alright, let's get on with the pork. So here I've got some pork leg steaks that are already nice and thin, but I'm going to use my meat mallet, and using the spiky side, I'm going to belt those out and get them nice and tender. These pork leg steaks, if you cook them a little bit wrong, they will end up being a little bit tough. So I'm going to bash them out on one side and then give it a flip. Just like that, and we can continue with our tenderizing, and it's also quite a nice stress relief, just bashing this meat down like that. So make sure you get a really good belting on that. If you want to, just use the flat side to thin it out a little bit more. Very simple. Now, using a nice sharp knife, all I'm going to do is cut these in half, and they'll fit in the fry pan a little bit easier that way, and it'll also adjust, or you can adjust your portion control as well. This meal will serve 4 people quite comfortably. There's all our pork. I'm going to season that just with a little bit of table salt. You could use sea salt if you wish, but the table salt is nice and fine, and a little bit of ground white pepper just to give it a little bit of a zing. Dip those into egg that we've beaten up, and we're then going to put those into some breadcrumb. Now, you would normally use a panko breadcrumb. If you wish, you can just use a normal everyday breadcrumb, and I just use the store-bought product. I very rarely make my own breadcrumb. Right, how easy was that? Set those aside for when we're going to get ready to cook. So just continue on with the rest of all of that meat. And if you haven't had Tonkatsu pork before, wow, you don't know what you're missing. It is an amazing little dish. I first had this when I was about 16 years old, and I was just going into the restaurant industry. Right, I've had that sauce in the microwave for about 30 seconds. That's all done. Make sure it's nice and well blended, and the heat will help break down that little bit of the mustard as well. Alright, we don't need to have it a hot sauce, just nice and warm. We're going to put our little bits of pork, our little pork schnitzels, for 3 minutes aside into a medium pan with some oil. Very, very simple. We don't want them to go very dark. We want a nice light brown color on there. If you do want it a little bit more crunchy, by all means turn your oil up, but it won't turn out as nice. So just continue cooking all of those all the way through. Very, very simple. Very, very easy. And when we've finished cooking these, we'll put that onto some absorbent paper and just let the oil drain out of them. Alright, now in the meantime, I've already got my little bit of sides happening. Now, another little thing I've also done is I used up the last of the egg that we use for our making our little schnitzels up, and I like to fry that off in the oil. That's just a personal thing that I like to do. I don't like wasting food product. I'm just going to simply put that egg onto some nicely fresh steamed rice, just like that. And the Tonkatsu sauce does work really nice with egg. It does work with most meats. So we just want to slice our little schnitzels up like that into some nice little ribbons. Just looks pretty, looks good. Unless you make a little bit of a meal of it like I've just done there. And I'm allowing 2 schnitzels per person. As I said, we did belt these out quite nice and thin, so it's not a lot of protein at all. It's just the right amount. Just got to put that straight on top of my egg there. You don't need to have the egg if you don't want to. You can even just serve this on its own. So for presentation and for this meal, what I've done is I've got some lettuce, all washed, just roughly chopped. I'm just going to lay that down on the side, and I've got just a very light dressing with a little bit of mirin, a little bit of cooking sake, and a tiny bit of just a good quality oil. And I'm just going to top that off with some avocado. Modern Japanese cooking, the rules have been basically thrown out the window. You can play with it, you can adjust things. You look at the sushi we get now, the California roll's not a traditional thing. Then again, most sushi isn't either. Anyway, I'd like to see you try and make this one at home. Super easy. Now, all we're going to do now is layer or pour over just a little bit of that tonkatsu sauce. I will say this, it is rich, so just go sparingly. You can always add a little bit more later on if you want to. Alright, so easy to do. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, hit that like button. Gives me confidence. Should make you feel warm and fuzzy too. Don't forget, share this with all your friends on social media, on all platforms, so they can see how awesome this is as well. Hit that notifications bell. You'll be notified every time a new video goes up. Well, so YouTube says. But more importantly, I want you to come and join the family. My family. Hit that subscribe button and you'll never miss another one of my videos again. I'm off to eat my tonkatsu. Bye. We'll catch you next time.